Hello again. I'm sure that we all know how cautious the French authorities are when dealing with small boats of asylum seekers leaving their coast and heading towards Britain. The police cannot touch them once the boats are in the water because it wouldn't be safe for either the police or the asylum seekers, and nor can their naval vessels interfere with them in any way other than escorting them to our territorial waters and ensuring that we pick them up and bring them safely ashore in our country. Then, too, the European Convention on Human Rights must be strictly adhered to, and there can be no question of riding roughshod over the human rights of these unfortunate refugees or asylum seekers. We have become so accustomed to this attitude on the part of French officials that we are no longer surprised by it. I wonder if viewers have ever asked themselves how the French deal with boatloads of asylum seekers trying to land on their shores. Actually, we can see just how they conduct themselves when the boot is on the other foot, because a lot of small boats crammed to the gunwales with penniless Africans routinely attempt to land on French territory, and the French are, put it bluntly, having none of it. Not everybody realises that the European Union extends all the way to the Indian Ocean, where there is an island called Mayotte. It is a French department which has the same status as the regions of metropolitan France. It is part of the European Union, which means that the European Convention on Human Rights applies there. Because it is near Madagascar and only a short distance from the coast of East Africa, many people from Central Africa and East Africa try to reach the island of Mayotte in small boats. Guess what the French police do when they see those boats? Do they escort them to safety? They do not. Are they worried about interfering with these boats at sea, as they are in the English Channel? No. You see, because Mayotte is French territory, anybody claiming asylum there can end up in mainland France, something the French wish to avoid at all costs. So they ram the boats, capsizing them so that those in them drown. It is estimated that 10,000 asylum seekers have drowned as a result of attempting this voyage. 10,000. If any refugees do manage to land, then the French have another tactic, one which does not involve the European Convention on Human Rights or endless appeals to the courts. Nor is there any talk about asylum seekers. They simply designate all of them as illegal immigrants, load up a plane with them, and fly them back to the Congo where they came from. I am not criticising the French for adopting this robust approach to the problem of African immigrants, you understand. Indeed, I rather admire them. We could take a lesson from them in their complete and utter disregard for the European Convention on Human Rights and so on. What I find irritating is the way that at the same time they are drowning illegal immigrants and hoofing them out of the country and sending them straight back to Africa, they are pussyfooting about and seeing how many of the illegal immigrants in their country they can fob off on us. Sometimes I feel inclined to agree with those who say that France has always been our historic enemy in Europe, and that we should remind them that they wouldn't even have a country if it wasn't for us. Where was General de Gaulle during the war? Hanging round nightclubs in London, that's where, until we had liberated his country for him and it was safe for him to return to Paris. Bloody French.